My father-in-law is 71 years old, and last spring he asked me to walk him through a lot full of crossovers so he could pick out a nice little SUV. I talked him out of every single one of them in about 10 minutes. Not because sport utility vehicles are bad, because he was about to pay a premium for a taller seat, a worse ride, and a fuel bill he didn't need. What he actually wanted was a wagon. And the 5 I'm about to show you are cheaper, simpler, and built to outlast the sport utility vehicles sitting 3 spaces over. After 22 years under the hood, these are the ones I'd put my own parents in. Let's get into it. Here's the thing nobody at the dealership will tell you. A station wagon is just a sedan with a bigger trunk and a taller roof over the cargo. Same reliable car underneath, same easy step-in height, same car-like ride, but with the space of an SUV and none of the top-heavy wobble. Automakers stopped selling them because wagon doesn't sound exciting in a commercial. That's it. That's the whole reason these are cheap. And that reason has absolutely nothing to do with whether they'll get you to the doctor, the grandkids, and the grocery store for the next 15 years. So let me count them down, from 5 to 1, and I'm going deepest on number 1 because that's the one I'd buy tomorrow with my own money. Number 5, Buick Regal TourX. I'm starting with the wild card because this is the one that makes people say Buick made a wagon. Yes, from 2018 to 2020, and then they killed it because Buick sold barely 14,000 Regals total in this country, and most buyers never even knew the wagon existed. Their loss is your bargain. Here's what most people don't realize about this thing. It isn't really a Buick at all. It was built in Germany, based on the Opel Insignia, which means it drives like a European car, costing twice as much. A woman came into my shop last year, mid-60s, retired school teacher, driving a tired Lexus and complaining about road noise on her long drives to see her sister. I told her to go sit in a TourX. She came back and said it was the quietest car she'd ever been in. She wasn't imagining it. Buick used laminated glass and even tires with a foam belt inside them to kill noise and vibration. On a 3-hour highway trip, that quiet is the difference between arriving relaxed and arriving exhausted. For an older driver, that matters more than horsepower. It comes standard with all-wheel drive, it's got a long, planted 111-inch wheelbase for a smooth ride, and the cargo hold is enormous, over 73 cubic feet with the seats down, which is more than a lot of midsize SUVs. The 2.0-liter turbo makes 250 horsepower, and it's paired with an Eisen 8-speed automatic, the same transmission family you'll find in a Toyota Camry. Owner reliability ratings sit around 4.5 out of 5. Now, the honest part, because I'm not here to sell you anything. This is the least simple car on my list. It's got a turbocharger, and being German-built, some parts cost more and take longer to source than a Toyota's would. So when you shop one, prioritize a complete service history, check for any leak at the rear axle pinion seal, make sure the air conditioning blows genuinely cold, and test every button on the infotainment before you hand over $1. Do that, and you'll pay somewhere between $13,000 and $22,000 for a car that looks like a $50,000 Volvo and gets mistaken for one in parking lots constantly. Who should buy it? The senior who does long road trips and wants comfort and quiet above all else. Who should skip it? If you want dead simple, no turbo mechanicals, keep watching, because the next 4 get simpler and tougher as we go. And number 4 is where the bulletproof reputation really begins. Number 4, Acura TSX Sport Wagon. This one breaks my heart a little because Acura only sold the wagon version from 2011 to 2014 and then discontinued it. It's a genuine unicorn. And underneath that luxury badge is one of the most stubbornly reliable engines Honda has ever built. The TSX Sport Wagon runs a 2.4-liter four-cylinder, Honda's K24, making right around 200 horsepower, bolted to a simple, proven 5-speed automatic. No turbo, no fancy dual-clutch gambling. And critically, it uses a timing chain, not a belt, so there's no expensive belt replacement hanging over your head every 90,000 miles. This is the same K24 engine family that Honda dropped into Accords and CR5s by the millions, and mechanics see these things cross 250,000 and even 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. RepairPal rates the TSX 4.5 out of 5 and ranks it near the top of its entire luxury class. I had a retired couple bring one in, a 2013 with about 90,000 miles they'd bought used. They were nervous. It's a luxury car. Is it going to nickel and dime us? I put it on the lift, went through the whole thing, and the only thing I flagged was that the timing chain tensioner should be watched down the road. That was it. Leather seats, sunroof, a premium ride, and the maintenance bill of a Honda Accord. They drove it out, grinning. When you shop one, do exactly this. Start the engine cold, key cold, on the first start of the day and listen for a rattle. A brief rattle on a cold start can mean a worn VTC actuator, which is a known Honda quirk and worth negotiating over. Check the service records for the timing chain, and if it hasn't been touched by high mileage, just budget for it. And check the oil level and condition, because the earlier versions of this engine could burn a little oil. 2 honest caveats for seniors specifically. It's front-wheel drive only. No all-wheel drive was ever offered on this wagon, so if you live where it snows hard, factor in good winter tires. And it sits low, like the sports sedan it's based on, so the step-in is lower than the taller wagons coming up. Expect to pay $7,000 to $14,000 and know that these hold their value because wagon people hunt for them. If you want luxury and Honda toughness in one package, this is your car. But if easy entry and all-weather grip are your priorities, number 3 fixes both. Number 3, Toyota Prius V. Stop making that face. I know. But hear me out, because for a senior on a fixed income, the math on this thing is almost unfair. The Prius V, the V is for versatility, was Toyota's wagon-shaped Prius, sold from 2012 to 2017, then discontinued. It is the cheapest car on this list to actually own, and it might be the cheapest reliable car to run in America, period. You're looking at around 42 miles per gallon in real-world driving. For someone who drives to appointments and errands and the occasional long visit, that's a gas bill cut nearly in half. Now here's what people get wrong about the Prius. They think the hybrid system is fragile. It's the opposite. Toyota's hybrid drivetrain has no traditional transmission to slip and no timing belt to snap. It uses an electronically controlled setup that's one of the most durable powertrains on the road. IC Cars did a study on which cars owners keep the longest, and the Prius topped it, with more than double the industry average of original owners still driving them after 15 years. Taxi fleets run these to the moon, and for a senior, the seating is a real advantage. In the V, you sit more upright and a little higher than in a normal Prius, so getting in and out is easier on the knees and hips. The cargo area is huge for the size, over 67 cubic feet, with the seats folded, and the back seats slide and recline. A gentleman in his 70s came to me worried about exactly one thing. What happens when the hybrid battery dies and it costs me 10 grand? So let me kill that fear right now. First, these batteries routinely last well past a decade. Second, if one does need replacing, the dealer might quote you $3,000 to $4,000, but a quality remanufactured battery from an independent hybrid shop runs a fraction of that. It is not the financial catastrophe the internet tells you it is. When you shop a Prius V, the two things I want you checking are the brakes and the battery. This generation had a known brake actuator issue that can get pricey, so on the test drive, make sure the brakes feel smooth and normal with no warning lights on the dash, and ask whether the traction battery has ever been serviced or replaced. Prices are the best part. A clean Prius V often sits between $6,000 and $12,000. It's front-wheel drive, and it's not fast, and if you want to feel your heart race, this isn't it. But if you want a roomy, upright, ultra-cheap-to-run wagon that'll quietly outlast half the SUVs on your street, the Prius V is criminally underrated. Number 2, though, adds the one thing the Prius can't give you: real all-weather confidence. Number 2, Subaru Outback. If I had to hand a set of keys to a senior who deals with real winters, real rain, or gravel roads out to the lake, this is where I'd start. The Outback is technically a legacy wagon that Subaru raised up and gave more ground clearance, which means it does something almost no other car does. It combines the easy, sit-down, don't-climb-up entry height that older hips love with standard all-wheel drive and nearly 9 inches of ground clearance. For an older driver, that raised wagon shape is close to perfect. You don't drop down into it like a sports car, and you don't haul yourself up into it like a truck. You just sit down. Visibility out of it is excellent, the seats are genuinely comfortable, and Subaru has a long history of top safety scores. On later models, you'll find Subaru's EyeSight system with automatic emergency braking, which is exactly the kind of safety net that gives an adult child peace of mind about a parent still driving. Now, I have to be the honest mechanic here, because Subarus have a reputation for head gasket trouble, and that reputation is real, but it's about the old engines. Here's the key that most buyers don't know. For the 2013 model year, the Outback switched to a new engine called the FB25, and that engine moved to a timing chain and, just as importantly, redesigned the cooling so the chronic head gasket failure of the old motors was essentially engineered out. So the rule is simple: aim for 2013 and newer. One more caveat, and it's a specific one. Some of those early FB25 engines, roughly 2013 through 2015, could consume oil. There was even a class action settlement over it. So when you shop one, check the oil level yourself, ask the seller directly whether it uses any oil between changes, and if you can swing a 2016, 2017, or newer, even better. Also listen for a rattle on cold startup from the timing chain area, and on the test drive, make sure the automatic doesn't shudder or jerk. A woman brought me her late husband's 2016 Outback with 80,000 miles to check over before she took it on a long solo trip. It needed nothing but an oil change and a set of wiper blades. She's put another 40,000 trouble-free miles on it since. Expect to pay somewhere between $9,000 and $16,000 depending on year and miles. For the senior who wants safety, all-wheel drive, and an easy step-in, the Outback is the smart, sensible choice. But there's one wagon I recommend above all of these, and it's the one almost nobody thinks of. If this straight talk is helping you or someone you love shop smarter, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I make these so regular people stop overpaying dealerships. Now, number one, Toyota Venza. This is the one. If my own mother called me tomorrow and said, "Find me something to drive for the next 15 years and leave me alone about it," I would find her a Toyota Venza and I would not think twice. Here's the secret that makes the Venza so good, and it's beautiful in its simplicity. The Venza, sold from 2009 to 2015, is basically a Toyota Camry that put on hiking boots. Same bones, Same legendary reliability, but raised up into a tall, roomy wagon with a higher seat. That raised seating is the single best feature for an older driver on this entire list. The step in height is just about ideal. No climbing up, no dropping down, and the visibility out of it is commanding. Mechanics call it a jacked-up Camry, and I mean that as the highest compliment I can give a car. Under the hood, you get a choice, and both are excellent. There's a 2.7-liter four-cylinder from Toyota's rock-solid AR engine family, the same basic family used across the Camry, RAV4, and Highlander, and there's an optional 3.5-liter V6 making 268 horsepower that's shared with the Highlander and the Lexus RX. Read that again. The V6 in this forgotten wagon is the same bulletproof engine Lexus put in a luxury SUV. Both engines are naturally aspirated, no turbo to fail, and both use a timing chain, not a belt, so there's no scheduled belt replacement to pay for. This is what built to last actually looks like. Simple, proven, no exotic parts to break. A guy came into my shop convinced he needed a RAV4. His wife had bad knees and struggled getting in and out of their old sedan. I showed him a 2014 Venza with the four-cylinder, about 85,000 miles, priced thousands under a comparable RAV4 of the same year. She sat in it, got in and out 3 times right there in the lot, and looked at me like I'd handed her a gift. 2 years later, the only money they've spent on it is oil changes and 1 set of tires. Consumer Reports rated the later Venza years more reliable than the average car, and honestly, that tracks with everything I see roll through my bay. Let me give you the shopping checklist because this is the car I want you to get right. First, on the four-cylinder, check the oil. A few of these could burn a little, so you want to see a clean, full dipstick and hear that it's been changed regularly. Second, on the V6, cold start it and listen. The very earliest V6s had a timing chain tensioner quirk that Toyota resolved, so a clean, quiet start is what you want. Third, plan on a water pump somewhere around 80,000 to 120,000 miles. It's a normal wear item, not a red flag, just budget for it. Fourth, check for the driver's door wiring recall and the steering column bulletin on the earliest cars from 2009 to 2011 and confirm they were handled. And fifth, my pro tip, find one that belonged to an older couple who garaged it and serviced it on schedule. A gently driven Venza with moderate miles is about as close to a new car as you'll find for the money. Prices right now sit roughly between $9,000 and $16,000, depending on the year, mileage, and whether it's front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. For that, you get a Camry that lasts forever, a seat height built for aging knees, a cargo hold that swallows luggage and walkers and grocery hauls, and a V6 option with Lexus DNA. There is no catch. The only reason it's cheap is that the badge says Venza and not RAV4, and the market has a short memory. That's not your problem. That's your opportunity. So there they are. 5 forgotten wagons that'll do everything an SUV does, haul the family, swallow the cargo, sit you up tall and easy for thousands less and with far less to go wrong. The Buick Regal TourX, the quiet European luxury nobody noticed. The Acura TSX Sport Wagon, a Honda that refuses to die wearing a nicer suit. The Toyota Prius V, the cheapest reliable mile you can buy. The Subaru Outback, the safe all-weather companion. And the Toyota Venza, the Camry in disguise that I'd trust with my own parents. Next time a salesman steers you toward a tall, thirsty crossover with a lease return price tag, you'll know there's a smarter wagon sitting right there for less. If this helped you or helped someone you love, hit that like button and subscribe. I've got more videos coming on exactly which cars are worth your hard-earned money and which ones aren't. Take care of the car, and it'll take care of you. I'll see you in the next one.